Tommy Rex, and you're listening to today's Boondoggle.
This is Mark Metcalf, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle with Bailey on Domain Cleveland Radio.
You are listening to today's Boondoggle with Bailey on Domain Cleveland Radio. Yes, Kato Kalin listens to this all the time.
Welcome to today's Boondoggle. Now, here's your host. Incarceration, America's rock, metal, and tattoo festival returns this summer with Limp Bizkit, Disturbed, Bad Omens, plus Gojira, Papa Roach, A Day to Remember, Motionless in White, Ice Nine Kills, Cypress Hill, The Used, and so many more. Incarceration at the Ohio State Reformatory, July 17th to 19th. Passes on sale now at incarceration.com.
What's going on, everybody? It's Bill Bailey with today's Boondoggle, and getting ready to ward off some heavy metal demons with by burning some sage for a conversation I'm going to have right now with Sage King of the band Living Wreckage. What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for having me, Bill. Appreciate you.
Oh, man, looking forward to this. Yeah, sorry, I come up with the corny shit last minute to introduce people. So at least it's not dad jokes, but it's almost as bad. But,
hey, I'm all for it.
But usually when I have people on for the first time, I like to get a quick background. So before you even got into music and everything, and you were a little Sage, do you remember what you originally wanted to be when you grew up?
Honestly, for me, it goes back pretty far. I started playing guitar and songwriting about 9, 10 years old. So before that, I think it was just video games and playing outside. Wasn't really much thought before. But yeah, playing music was pretty much from day one.
Oh, wow. So then what was it like? Who were some of the earliest influences for you to like want to start learning guitar at 9?
My folks were really big into the 80s hair metal scene. So guys like Motley Crue, Bon Jovi, Guns N' Roses. That was kind of some early inspirations for sure.
And then as you started getting older and playing more, when was it that you like met like-minded people and started like your first official band?
When I was in school growing up, I think playing guitar wasn't super popular. I kind of went away for a minute, but then when that game Guitar Hero came out, that was kind of my generation started to pick it up a little bit. So I was always trying to find people in school to play with and jam with, get in a garage or a basement and just try to figure it out. But I was very fortunate early on to have some good mentors that kind of like in some music schools and stuff to put a lot of students together and kind of form a early band. I think I was about maybe 11 or 12 getting into my first band.
Nice. So was this through high school or was it like a School of Rock type thing?
No, it was in high school or middle school even, I think. My first, just through like after school music store kind of music lessons kind of thing. They would take students and put them together and form bands. It was really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. You don't hear too much of that anymore. So
yeah.
And then as like you started playing with your friends after school, like what was the music scene like in your town where you grew up at?
Not a whole lot. I grew up in the suburbs of Connecticut, and so I started out playing a lot of acoustic, solo gigs because there wasn't a whole lot of people playing. But I started to seek it out more and more, and started playing with people of all different ages. But it was tough early on. There wasn't a whole lot to choose from for sure.
Gotcha. And then when was it that you got hooked up with Living Wreckage?
I think it was late 22 or early 23. they actually, I had met John Done, and we were doing like a celebrity bartender thing at one of the local venues in our town. And I didn't know him at the time, but there was an open mic going on. There was a bunch of musicians there passing guitars back and forth, and I think he heard me singing, and they had a show the following night, and they needed somebody to play some songs with them. So I agreed, and it went over really well. And we pretty much never stopped since then.
Nice. So you had like a live audition in front of a crowd?
I literally met the drummer on stage, John, and I met the other guitar player, Matt LeBreton, in the bathroom right before we were taking the stage.
Nice, nice. So like, yeah, how did that work out then? They kind of like, did John tell you like, hey, these are the songs, learn these lyrics or learn them?
We literally, because I met him like literally not even 24 hours before, he's like, hey, do you want to come sing some Alice in Chains and Skid Row and just a couple covers, and so they could make it through the show and without having to cancel. So it was just stuff we all happened to kind of know, and we just we wung it. Yeah.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
And then so like, what was that once you know, like you said, you just met one of the guys in the bathroom, met the drummer on stage, but when the show was over, what was that feeling like? And when you got together with the guys, what was that all about?
There was an immediate kind of energy on stage and just in the room. There's a lot of people that we were friends with in the room that knew us from separate parties. Then, they knew the guys in the band, then they knew me for my other stuff. And they could just tell there was something there. And I think all of us on stage knew. So we just kind of kept it going. A couple months later, I think we were starting to work on some new songs, and I just kind of threw myself into the fire. I'm glad I did.
Yeah. So the chemistry was there right on stage. It happened. And then
100%.
Nice. Yeah. And then you had said that, at 9, you started kind of learning to play guitar and then went away and came back. When did vocals kind of call to you?
It was pretty much immediately where I knew that I wanted to kind of write my own songs. I grew up kind of idolizing Motley Crue, and I remember Nikki Sixx talking about how when he was growing up and learning to play, he couldn't really play other people's songs. He just he could play when he was playing his own stuff. And I just really attached to that. And I just always wanted to do my own thing. So I couldn't really play as well playing other people's music, but when I was writing my own stuff, I felt pretty confident in what I was doing, and I just kind of kept going with that.
Nice. And then who were some of your like earliest influences that kind of like guided you or motivated you to take the singing route?
The singing, I was always drawn to those powerhouse vocals. Guys like, I just posted something today of Chris Cornell. It's been 9 years since he passed, but guys like him and Layne Staley, even Bon Jovi, a lot of those guys that just had massive voices, Steven Tyler, they had so much depth to them, and it wasn't just a one-trick pony kind of thing. That was always what I was gravitated towards.
And then as you started, were you like self-taught, or did you with some of the after school stuff where you learned to play, do you have a vocal coach or anything like that as well?
There was some teachers early on when I was young, but and a little bit of school, but I always felt like I learned the most when I was just kind of out there doing it, or like I said, getting in a garage with some friends and just playing and just kind of stumbling through it and trying to figure it out on your own. And but I had some great mentors, just people that were a little older than me that kind of showed me the ropes of how to write songs or how to act on a stage. So I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah. And I mean, you talked about some of those vocalists that you were, that attracted you to singing and stuff, and their range. But, from what I've heard, you've got quite the bars and range as well. So after you got off stage with, the guys, after doing those cover songs and you guys kind of dove into it, what's the the writing been like for you? Like how much input do you have in this new project with some, because you said kind of writing your own music, you sing better with?
Yeah, it's all kind of everybody has a hand in the pie, basically. Um, we're always kind of throwing, especially both guitar players, John and Matt. They're always sending demos back and forth. Matt will send me stuff. He'll just text me a demo that he's working on, and they kind of let me just kind of run with it. And we kind of everybody throws their input, but I really take pride in the words that I'm singing, so I really try to focus on that. And we just have fun with it. We try to push the boundaries of what this band should sound like, and it's been a lot of fun writing this new record.
Well, yeah, you can hear in your latest single, like your inspirations that you already mentioned, and just your range. But let's talk a little bit about the righteous side of sanity. Now, me and John talked about kind of like the music end and writing the riffs and stuff, but tell me about the lyrics and the message behind this one.
That one, it's a simple kind of fast paced song, but it's there's really no agenda with the song, but just in the world that we live in, it's everybody seems to be so divided. Not even just politics, because I try not to go down that rabbit hole, but just everybody kind of it feels so divided, and there's not a lot of unity. So I try to I wanted to have a kind of an anthem for people to just stand up for what you believe in, kind of thing, and just call for people to um, just kind of stick together more. And I'd love to see more of that. And it's unfortunate that we don't, but I'm hoping that that isn't too far off in the corner.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. And then let's talk about the name, Righteous Side of Sanity. What did the lyrics come first, or the song title, or how's the order of things go for you?
Honestly, I wrote it some years ago now. At this point, it's finally just coming out into the world. But yeah, I think it was just it was a phrase that kind of that stuck out to me. And yeah, the righteous side of sanity. I think when you have two sides that are fighting for something that they really believe in, they both think that they're right. No matter what they're fighting for or arguing about, both sides have a lot of good reasons to why they might think that they're the more righteous side. So that's why it's not righteous side of insanity, righteous side of what you think is true.
Nice. Yeah, I like that. So yeah, this was kind of like one of your own songs that you wrote years ago before even connecting
No,
with
it was just an early song that we had put together, but that goes back a couple years at this point. But the music is
Okay.
finally getting out into the world. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
And then has this been like your first major project that you've worked with?
It's been the most substantial, I guess, and it's brought me to some of the bigger stages that I've had the opportunity to be on. We've gotten to do some awesome shows so far, and it's been a great. It's already been maybe almost 4 years, I think, 3.5 years. So we've gotten to go to some cool cities that I hadn't been to before and play with some awesome bands that I just had never had the opportunity. And playing with guys like everybody in the band. Everybody is so they're so good at what they do. I don't have to, when I'm on stage, I just have to worry about what I'm doing and have a good time and try to put on the best performance that I can, because I know that my brothers, to the left and right and behind me are really gonna bring it, because every time they do.
Nice. And then
Yeah.
what now John was telling me too that as things kind of started cooking, or when the I guess maybe it was the original ideation of the band started coming together, then all of a sudden, of course, then the world shut down and we're on timeout, and that's when he did a lot of writing for this. What time frame? You said 3 years ago, so this was after when the world started opening back up, you came into the band?
Yeah, they had done their first record with the original lineup, and I came in a little bit after that. Um, and we tried to pretty much immediately start writing some new stuff. There was a lot of, like I said, there was a lot of energy from those first couple shows, and the people in the room really seemed to dig what we were doing. So we felt that it was worth seeing where this goes for sure.
And then like with the experience factor, especially with John alone, everything
Yeah.
that he's already done in his career, what's been for you, like, I guess just being able to kind of like sit under the learning tree with guys like that, especially with hitting the road and stuff like that. What's this been like, experience been like for you?
Being in a room with those guys that they've been around the world more than once, and they teach. I learned so much from them. They have so much because they've been through it before, so they know the ins and outs of the business, and what we're starting to try to tour more, so they know the do's and don'ts, and they know how to have fun too, and they know not to let the little things that might not go a certain way, they kind of they don't let it bum them out, because they know that that's just part of the game. So I try to just kind of, and it's really a confidence booster to just have the opportunity to be in the room playing with those guys. And I try to just keep my eyes and ears open a lot, and take it in, because there's some good stuff that goes around for sure.
And then what was your experience like getting to work with Zuess?
Was awesome. We did a bunch of songs so far for this new record, and so this was my first time working with him. And we were actually pretty quick with it. He knew how to kind of push me in a lot of ways to get the best takes of everything. But he didn't beat me to death either. He just he let me do my thing, and if it wasn't sounding exactly like he wanted, he would get me to do it some more times. But for the most part, it was a pretty quick process. So I think it was just an inspiring session.
Nice. And then like in your previous work, had you worked with somebody of that caliber, or have you done any like in studio time, or was this a whole new thing for you?
No, I've had other projects. I put out a solo record last year. That's a very different music genre, but so working with different people in different studios. It's been great working with different people, because everybody has their own. So every time you enter a room and studio with somebody else, you learn so much, because they have their own way of doing it. Working with Zeus was a blast, and there's a lot of trust, I think, and because he's done so many awesome projects, and he's worked with those guys for years too. So I put a lot of trust and faith in him, and it seemed to work out.
Nice. And then your solo project that you mentioned now. I know around when you were growing up, you said mostly you learned to play acoustic because there wasn't much of a scene or opportunity to play. What is your solo stuff like? Is it more like acoustic like, or is it how would you describe it?
It's a lot of acoustic elements for sure, but I got a little bit into the country and Americana thing. I'm a big grunge fan, so there's a lot of '90s influence as well. Just a little more tame. It's not so much in the hard rock and metal world, but I'm always kind of just trying to see if I can do something different. I try to incorporate a lot of like piano stuff too. So just kind of doing whatever I want. There's no rules when it comes to that.
And you play all your own instruments then?
Just guitar mostly. I kind of have some friends play on some of the stuff too with me, and just kind of bring people I don't get a chance to work with a lot in. And I have a guy, my engineer and producer, Jim Fogarty, who made the record with me. He's a talent, and he's awesome. I trust him a lot too. So me and him and some other friends made the record.
So you mentioned bringing piano in. Do you play piano as well?
I wish I could say I play piano, but other than a couple chords, it's been something that's on my to-do list for sure. I need to just invest some time and get a nice keyboard and put some more time into that, because I'd love to, but unfortunately not.
Yeah, I think the most I was able to get back in the day was like Jaws and the Halloween.
Yeah.
You know,
Chopsticks. Yeah.
yeah, pretty much.
It's such a beautiful instrument. I do need to spend more time because it's awesome. And it's a great tool to write, especially I've been playing guitar for a long time. And I think it just makes you do different things. You try something and you write on a different instrument, you're going to go in different directions.
Now for these other projects you've been with, and now with Living Wreckage. I mean, like I said, we could hear your range in just this single, but it sounds like what you were doing solo, different style. What do you prefer?
I don't think I could pick. It's such a yin and yang thing for me. I love um, the high energy metal shows that I've gotten used to over the last few years, and that was kind of new territory for me at the time as well. But then I love intimate, quiet, acoustic music. I don't think I could live without one.
Awesome. Now you said that you guys already got a couple songs that are in recorded. I don't remember if I asked John this question, but is there another like single that's in the chamber getting ready to come out?
Well, we just put out The Righteous a couple weeks ago. So we're kind of still promoting that one. We've been playing that one live for a couple years now. And we have some other stuff that's kind of done and ready to go. I don't know when it will. I think we're going to focus on putting out, one song at a time. So maybe later this summer or early fall, we might do another song. We're just kind of testing the water and seeing what in 2026, what's the best way to roll out new music, especially being a newer band. So we're just trying to be smart about it and make sure we get the most bang for our buck on all these songs. So we put so much into them. So we don't want them to go unnoticed,
Yeah, exactly. Now with everybody's kind of like schedules, I'm sure it's tough to even start planning Living Wreckage tour at the moment. Are you holding off to maybe see if there's an opening once more material is released?
I think all of us are excited about putting out some more music. I for sure would love to see some more songs come out before we do some more shows. We might be playing some stuff later this year that we might announce soon. But yeah, between everybody's schedules, John's been doing a lot of Anthrax stuff this year. I think he's over in Europe now. I moved to Nashville about a year ago, so all the other guys are still up in Massachusetts, but I'm in Tennessee now. So I, hop on a plane and join those guys as much as I can.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I got quite a few friends in the Nashville music scene down there.
Awesome.
So when like Living Wreckage is kind of like, there's downtime, are you working on more solo stuff?
Yeah, I kind of put a studio together here with some friends that I've met since I've been down here and kind of working on a new solo project, that's something a little different too. So I'm always trying to stay busy and just kind of keep my mind focused on being creative, trying to catch that muse as much as I can.
Yeah, exactly. Now, are you getting a chance to like get out and do shows down there in Nashville, or have you taken like any of your solo stuff on the road before?
Yeah, most of my performances are up in New England still, so I travel back up that way pretty frequently. But things are starting to go well and down south here. So, but focusing mostly on writing and recording a new album and trying to get this Wreckage stuff wrapped up for this upcoming album. Yeah, I put a solo band down here together, so hopefully we're going to be playing some more too. I got my old drummer is moving here this summer too, so in next week or 2 weeks or so. So it's gonna be nice to play with him again. I'm excited.
Awesome. Yeah, if you get a chance down there, check out my guys in Via Sky. I don't know if you're
Via Sky.
Yeah, they're some good dudes. It's very, very metal. I mean, the singer Rich is very brutal, you know, vocal wise, but it's good stuff, man.
Nice.
So yeah, I know they try and do a lot of the. I guess they have like some sort of like mini like festivals of covers or something sometimes down there in the area, I guess, and those guys will get on perform at some of those.
Familiar. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. They do some like there's like an 80s I forget what they call it, it's like a hair metal night, and then they did a grunge night. I was a part of that earlier this year. But yeah, they're always trying to get a bunch of musicians together to do something here. It's awesome.
Yeah. So maybe you'll run into them at one of those, but definitely some good guys always looking, you know, putting out some new stuff.
Nice. I'll keep my eye open for them.
Yeah, for sure. And then being down there, you know, you're working on your solo stuff, and now there's like another new project you're getting ready to launch, or is it similar to your solo stuff?
Just a new solo record, and then trying to wrap up the rest of this Wreckage album. Those are kind of my two priorities right now. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then for you know, like goals going forward, you know, what kind of goals are you looking to knock off in the coming year?
Well, I definitely would like to travel more with the bands. I'd like to see more of this beautiful country, and even outside of it. So that's a big goal for me. And getting my studio here, kind of, it's been great so far. Kind of getting all our gear in there, and learning how to make a record ourselves, because normally I'm used to going to a studio. So trying to take on more of the project myself and kind of do a lot of that for the new solo record. But yeah, I would say just keep pushing the boundaries. I really want this Wreckage music to come out soon, so I'm getting excited and antsy for the next single already, but we're kind of focusing on this one right now.
Yeah, it's a timing thing. I get that. And then you want to get the rest of the milk out of the cow before you go over to the next one. I get it.
Right.
But
yeah, if it was my way, I'd try to put more music out, but you got to have everybody's interests.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I mean, you said you started learning guitar at 9 years old, and with everything that you've learned along the way here, if you could go back in time and tell your 9-year-old self something, what do you think it would be?
I think I would say just don't stop, just keep it going. It's not easy at all, to keep this creative fire, aflame, but it's so rewarding at the end of the day when you're able to just kind of build a legacy through making these recordings and making these albums. So that's what I love. I love kind of looking back at the things that I've done and the places I've gotten to be and all the opportunity. And it just makes me so excited for what's to come, because you never know.
Exactly. Awesome. And then before we get ready to wrap up, I want to ask you a few of the questions I normally ask my guests that I have on here. You talked earlier about some of your like earliest influences in music, but who are the top 3 artists that you're listening to today?
I am definitely stoked for the new Shinedown album. They're one of my favorite groups. I think their record comes out in a week or two. So I'm really excited for them. What else? I'm a big Jason Isbell fan. He's kind of more of that folk Americana country stuff. Been kind of playing a lot of his records. What else has been on my playlist? Deftones, their last record. I was listening to that too. That one's great.
Nice. And then what class do you feel should be mandatory before graduating high school today?
Man, personal finance, I guess.
Yeah, that's the number one answer I get, man.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's
Yeah.
got to say
I don't know why
something,
they
man.
don't teach it. They don't teach enough of it because when you graduate and you don't know how to use money, so it's always a big
Exactly. And as
learning
soon
curve.
as you go off on your own to college, it's like they start pushing the credit cards on you. Just like, let's
Right.
just get
Yeah.
these kids in debt, but let's not teach them how to, balance a budget and save money.
Yeah, hopefully people are getting smarter. But yeah, for a while there, it was just, yeah, I remember being in high school and just college was all you heard, just pushing that on everybody. But thankfully I didn't go, so I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. And then who are three people who've inspired you and you can credit for making you the person you are today?
My mother, for sure. She was always incredibly supportive of my music and my songwriting. Um, Everyone in my family was always super supportive. Um, some music influences, just always I was always so inspired to like guys like Chris Cornell. Just he was always pushing the envelope and pushing himself musically and vocally. So he's somebody I really admire.
Nice. And then are there like any causes or organizations that you support and encourage others to check out?
Well, my stepfather was a Marine, and he served, I think, 25 years in police. He was a canine officer too. So I support the troops and anybody protecting this country 100%.
Awesome. And then going back to childhood, like before the guitar, do you recall your favorite toy?
Before guitar, God, I was definitely the part of the video game culture. So I know it's not really toys, but I spent a lot of hours playing Call of Duty and Guitar Hero and all that.
Gotcha. And then I mean, you kind of already touched on it, but any message you have for our military members currently serving overseas?
God bless. You're doing God's work, and I would say just stay strong and man, just thank you for what you're doing for our country.
Awesome. Yeah, my dad was a Marine as well, World War II, invasion of Okinawa, and that, he inspired me to join and serve. And then during my last deployment, I had friends that had started, like, podcasts were kind of early, and I had some friends that started a podcast. So I'd like throw on my headphones, and listen to their stories. And it was just like, I was back home, it was a nice positive distraction from my time
That's
over
awesome.
there. And that kind of inspired me, that feeling as well contributed to me starting this, and hopefully I got people serving overseas getting to hear this. And that's why I always ask for those messages and stuff.
Of course, yeah, music is so powerful. So I can only imagine that they use a lot of that to help them, stay strong and keep their head in the game. Um, yeah, so if our music can help them, that means the world.
Yeah, it was awesome when whenever musicians would come play the bass and stuff, like with Armed Forces Entertainment. Always nice to have like a little taste of home come there. And
Yeah,
I got to do security for like Everclear and Scott Stapp when he came and performed for us, and it was
nice.
a cool experience, man.
Yeah, I'm a huge Scott Stapp fan, so that's awesome.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was what was cool about that time. Well, I mean, it was tough around that time, but what he did for me was a solid. My oldest daughter had turned 8 while I was on my last deployment, so I wasn't home for her birthday. But around the time she was born, like Creed and Arms Wide Open, was big,
Yeah,
and that was just like such a inspirational song as a new dad, and I got to share that with him after his show was done, and I was doing security with him, and told him how I was missing her birthday, so he sung "Happy Birthday" for her on a
well,
recording
that's cool.
and put that on YouTube and stuff. So it was really
Wow,
cool of him,
wow,
and
awesome.
yeah. Yeah. And then
I'm so happy they're having a resurgence. I love that band. So it's so cool to see them, back together, and I'm looking forward to hearing a new record too.
did you get to catch any of the tours, the recent
I
ones
did.
with them?
Yeah, before I moved to Tennessee, I saw them in Connecticut maybe a couple years ago at this point. But yeah, awesome show. He sounds great. Scott sounds awesome.
Yeah, me and my fiance went, and it was like, Three Doors Down was on the bill as well. So it was our last time, unfortunately, getting to see or hear Brad Arnold as well. But it was such a powerful show, man. Not just the music, but it was just like, it was so spiritual, and that positive energy that was there. It's like, it's like I've seen a lot of awesome concerts, especially from childhood, that are still like, okay, I like them for this reason, and they share this piece of history or memory for me. But that last one, with Creed and Three Doors Down, man, it was just like it was on a whole nother level. And me and my fiance,
right. When you have
hoping
when you have bands like for those bands, I mean, just so many hits. Every song is just massive.
Yeah, exactly. But even like just the words and things that they were saying in between, and just it's just like and then Scott was just like, he was getting it from the crowd and pushing it back, man. It's just like you felt an energy, man. It was incredible. But anyway, I digress. The Creed will get you to do that, I guess. But so before we get ready to wrap up, then for anybody that's new to hearing about, like, I think me and John talked about where people could check out Living Wreckage. But for some of your solo stuff as well, where would you send people?
Well, all the social media and the website is Sage King Music and livingwreckage.com. We got Living Wreckage social media too. So yeah, definitely give us a follow and check it out. A lot more to come. So there's going to be a lot more music in the future.
Awesome. And then before I let you go, one last favor, you mind cutting a promo ID for the show? Just
of course.
Introduce yourself, and you're listening to today's Boondoggle.
Hey guys, this is Sage King from Living Wreckage, and you're listening to today's Boondoggle.
Awesome. Sage, man, thank you so much for your time, dude. It was good talking to you and learning more about you.
Thank you very much for having me.
You take care.
All right, see ya. Have a good one.
All right, listen up. Hold on to your seats. Grab your girls, grab your beers.
Hey everybody, this is Charlie from Anthrax, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle.
This is Mark Metcalf, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle with Bailey on Domain Cleveland Radio.
You are listening to today's Boondoggle with Bailey on Domain Cleveland Radio. Yes, Kato Kalin listens to this all the time.
Welcome to today's Boondoggle. Now here's your host.
I am Monty Heath, so one Heath, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle.
Hey, what's up? It's John from Skillet, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle on Domain Cleveland Radio.